Hi, good afternoon, art friends. Me, Teacher Jen. Welcome to this week's art class. So, our topic is going to draw old things, and we have a reference which is an old boots. The reason why we're doing this because I want you guys to learn how to use a spear construction using this reference and create those creases and folds to create more textures and refinement in your drawing. So to do this, what you need to do is, of course, put a construction on top of your drawing. So let's just say this one, just change this a bit. So to create a cylinder here, what I would do is create a box first. Okay, so the more you keep it simplified, the easier it is to execute. Then for this one, I need a box like this as well, and then of course you need to create another box here just for the extension. So in order to do that is you have to create a box on this area and then continue working this one. So you have the top part of the boot, then create this one, and then if you want you could just simply continue your lines towards here, and then let's just say simplified it like this so it's easier. So now you have the top part and the lower part or the front part of the boot. We'll just erase this construction so you guys could see it properly. Wait first. Let's change this one. Now, once you're done with the initial constructions, what you need to do now is work on let's just change the color. Work on the transitions and the placement of the construction. So let's just do the tongue first. 23. Stop it. Quiet, I'm teaching. So once you lay out the tongue, then you could now 23. Shh, be quiet. Then you could now lay out the top part of the boot or the shoes. Now keep it simplified first because what you're doing here is trying to position the elements that is needed to carefully place the drawing on the paper as properly as you can. Now after creating this area, what you need to do is position the front part or the toe part of the boot. You could, of course, you could make adjustments as you go along. And then of course this one, yung middle, or the medial and the lateral side, will just follow through. And then what you have here is the end part of the boot. And then of course this one has a fold. So now that you already laid out, let's just change the color a bit, the initial constructions and the positions, you could now slowly, just change lang into a yellow. You could now slowly put more emphasis on the overall structure. So pay attention to this one because it creates a fold up until here, where it will have a foreshortening on this area, on which this medial and lateral side would be hidden a bit with a lace. And then of course you need to construct this one, and then construct this one as well. So you could create this one and then follow up with the boot. Pay attention to the folds of the shoe tongue, which is this one. And then of course the other side. Again, pay attention to this area on which this one, so you need to adjust this area because it will create or solidify the actual shape of your boot. And then it has a fold here, and this one will have a shadow on this later on. Then you could now work on the toe and establish those folds. Now let's change this one a bit into a blue color, and then let's start cleaning the drawing. Let's just change this one to a pastel. So we are going to wait first. Just lock this one, put this in 50%, then oopsies, then we'll put a new layer so we could easily work on our drawing. Now since you have a construction, you could now easily work with the details or the placement of your work. So let's just say, let's cut it here. So pay attention to the curves on this area because this one will have a longer stem, and then this one will have a shorter fold that leads to a fold here and a long slim cut around this area. Notice that this one is higher compared to this area, so this one needs to be lower on this part and this one needs to be higher, so the cut is around this one. Then of course apply the folds in the ruffles later on. Establish this one. Of course it goes here and goes to this section. This one, the other end, or the one that is on the same level on the medial and the lateral side, will have an outer end like this. So pay attention to this one because it will create the fold. Then it goes back directly where it is. If you notice, this one would go inner and this one would go outer like this, but both of the material which has the eyelet will be closer to each other, and then this one would go here. Of course, this one will be foreshortened, and then the boot here will have another extra layer of folds, and then it goes towards the inside. Then you could now place the heel. Now after that one, you need to establish the toe part of your shoe. Now since in perspective this one is closer, then you could now adjust it and make it wider if you wanted to, but don't make it too wide because we still want it to be facing in front of us and not too outward on the left side or on my left side. Keep your lines as simple as possible because you are going to fix that one through shading, and we don't want it to be too linear that you forget to adjust the drawing once you start shading the material or shading your paper. So this one will have the outsole on this area, and if you notice, this outsole is wider and closer to this part. Okay, so try to notice the position of your drawing. So this one would land here, so this one should land like this. Okay, so meaning this area, the toe part, needs a bit of adjustment while working on the shading, and this one needs an adjustment on the space, so you could adjust it towards on this side, so you could create a more balanced and well constructed boot. Now the detailed drawings will be done of course on paper and then will be sent to you guys privately. You could have an option to add the other boot, but if you guys want to concentrate on a single boot, that's okay lang with me. So that's how you construct the old drawing of the old photo of an old a photo of an old boot rather. And I will see you guys on your art class schedules. Then I'll send you links and tips, drawing tips on your email. So may everyone have a wonderful evening. This is Teacher Jeng. Love and peace.